name is Teresa. I'm the owner and artisan at NTS Design Co. I am a content creator for Dixie Belle Paint Company, and I come live with you guys every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. So as you guys are popping on here, say hello. Let me know that I'm not on an island all on my own. I have a very fun project for you guys today. So hopefully you guys survived the aftermath of Halloween. Everybody's kids are hungover on candy and getting up and getting ready to take them to school today. I'm sure that was always fun. I know my son was definitely dragging some tail this morning, so just getting moving. What can we do? All right, so I have this canvas in front of you, and let me show you what we're gonna be doing today. I'm just making sure everything is working correctly, and we are at 10:01 a.m. I'm gonna move this right here just so I can show you what I have in front of me. So we're gonna do a really fun project. I do these a lot. I think they're super fun. I love where I'm at in my house right now. I am redecorating a lot of things, and as I am doing that, I'm trying to do that frugally and seeing how much stuff I can just make myself, which I really love. And it's that time of the year where if you want to make some things as presents. Hi, Stephanie, good morning. How are you today? So that's where we're at. So this right here, if you're wondering what is in front of me, I did not paint this. This came from Goodwill. And it's sort of a canvas, but not really. It's a board, and whatever this picture was folded and glued to the front. So it's textured, but it has some really good hangers on the back. I paid $10 for it, no big deal. But it's big, it's a good size, and it will look good in my bedroom. I'm looking to hang up really pretty art in my room. And so with that being said, I'm going to be painting this and decoupaging one of Dixie Belle's beautiful rice decoupage papers. And so I'll be painting this in caviar, okay? And then we're gonna heat gun over that. And then I'll be putting satin clear coat over that. And then I will be using, I brought some paintbrushes because, well, obviously for the decoupage, but Dixie Belle has a smooth roller kit. So if you guys haven't seen these yet, this is gonna make my life so much easier. Yes, I can dip and paint and dip and paint and dip and paint, or I can pour some paint in here and roll it and be done in like 16 seconds. I'm here for that part. And I don't have to worry about wasting the roller. I'm gonna be wrapping the roller in some saran wrap and put it in a plastic bag and be using it on a piece of furniture that's right over here next to me, a giant piece of furniture. This is gonna be a time saver to put my base coat on. So I'm super excited about that. And I will be using this really beautiful decoupage paper. So this is the vintage tattoo paper. And it's got mermaids and all kinds of really fun things on it. So this is kind of the vibe of my house, bright colors, really fun, very just different. And so I want that on this, and I think it would make a perfect wall hanging for my house, making sure I'm not missing you guys. And I thought I had what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. So there's a little piece that's peeled up. So I'm just gonna take a razor blade. The only prep work I did to this was just wipe it off. And there's some pieces where this plastic, like, I don't really care about it being right there because it's gonna be covered up, but like this edge piece, you can see where it's come up a little bit. I'm just gonna take a razor and I'm gonna slice very carefully and peel that off. And then there's one more over here. Just where, you know, it getting moved around from wherever it lived before me. Now you could take sandpaper, or you could take one of the sanding sponges and just kind of smooth it out if you wanted to. I'm not that concerned about it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm really not that worried about it. So now I'm just gonna go ahead, take my razor again since I have one out, and I am going to open up this lovely roller kit. And it comes with 2 foam rollers, which is really nice. And since this is chalk paint, you can just go ahead and rinse this right on out. It actually went where I wanted it to go. That never happens. So you just go ahead and you just snap this baby on very easily, and they're dense foam rollers, okay? So they're great. Put this one up here because that's my, I'm gonna lose that. I'm gonna put that one right there because that's my extra. I'm gonna turn my heater down behind me because it's cooking my tushy. It's really cold here today. All right. We'll turn it off for a second. If I get cold, I'll turn it back on. I have a fireplace behind me, so I was super chilly this morning. I don't know how cold it is where you guys are, but it is cold where I am today. cold, cold, cold. And it's only gonna get colder. I'm so excited. Hence why I'm wearing a hoodie today. All right, so this is gonna be the area that we're using. I'm not watering this down. I'm not doing anything special to it. I'm just pouring it straight on into my little area right here. It's probably way more than I needed, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to, I should wipe that off, but I'm not going to because I don't have a rag on me, but it'll be all right. Put that right there, stick that up there, out of the way. Okay, now we're gonna take our roller. I have a finished piece of furniture that I should not be putting all of this on, but I am. That's my my toxic trait. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. The heater wasn't that loud if you need it to stay on. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was kind of cooking my tushy because the fan was blowing right on me, so if I get chilly, I'll turn it back on again. I appreciate that, because I don't know sometimes how loud it is. I used to wear earbuds that were noise canceling, but I stopped doing that because they were bothering my ears. All right, and so this is really thick paint because it's chalk mineral paint, right? So we're just gonna we're dipping and then we're rolling it out because I want it evenly spread out on my roller. I don't want one area saturated more than another. Okay, and it's got a lovely spot that you can just put it in there so it stays. I love these, are perfect, right? And I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that right there, and we're just gonna roll. Do you see how much quicker this is? It takes up a ton of space, right? Way quicker. Anytime I can roll something that it doesn't really matter, I'm here for it. Like slick stick or anything like that. I love hand painting furniture, but sometimes just getting that base coat down with the paintbrush can be kind of tedious. So this should help out in situations like that where you can just kind of use your little roller, speed your process up. Oh, I guess it got cold, it's on automatic. It was like, we're not warm enough in here yet. All right, and so I'm just gonna go over this a couple times just so I can get the consistency that I want, the coverage that I need. I'm gonna heat gun it and then go over it a second time. See, it's pretty good. I can't wear earbuds. Yes, they make my ears like, I can't explain it. I have my earrings all day long, every day. So when I wear them, it just, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm underwater. Not a big fan. But I can wear headphones, like when I'm at the gym. There we go. This is definitely gonna need 2 coats because I'm going over all this crazy colors. I could have used a primer. I wasn't really, not that serious. So we're just rolling with it. Get it? Rolling with it. Okay, I'll stop. Follow me for more jokes. All right, so there we go. We're just rolling this baby on. She's looking good today. Super cute. I'll get the edges too. Once I'm off camera, I'll get all the edges to make sure. I don't like to do the edges now because when I like lean into it or I touch it, I always get it all over me. But you can take your roller and just go along the edges as well. All right, I'm gonna put that over here. We're just gonna turn this. Some more paint on her. This is going rather quickly, right guys? I'm digging that. Digging it. It's a nice thin coat of paint. These rollers are great. The handles are nice too. I know that's weird to say, but like I'm funny about like a handle if I can hold it. I have really little hands. Ooh, yeah, thank you, thank you. It is really me. I do love that paper. I think it's gonna be really pretty in my bedroom. That hot pink chair that I painted, I think I'm gonna have to paint a different color. I did use Prickly Prayer on it. I really loved it, but then when I put it in front of my vanity, it just didn't really match. So I think I'm gonna paint it in aubergine, which is fine. You never know until you get it into your space. The good thing is it's just paint and I can paint right back on over it. I have that roller. This roller is awesome and like it's grippy, right? So if you're like getting into stuff and like, I don't know, I'm clutching things fly out of my hands, the rubber on it really helps me, making sure I get a good grip on it. I'm just dabbing in the spots that like are not exactly flat. All right, so that's coat one. I'm gonna put that right there because it has that little spot for it. I'm gonna turn this off for just a second because you can't have a heater on and use your heat gun. You will pop a fuse. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna dry this baby up real quick. And then we'll go over it again. And then we'll decoupage her and she's gonna be so pretty. So the heat gun works really good, especially with the roller since it's such a thin layer of paint. It's not gonna take time to dry it off. If you wanted this to dry naturally, probably, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes it would be dry. You could go ahead and put your second coat on for, you know, the sake of going live. It's just gonna be me doing this really quick. So we're watching paint dry, literally. What'd you guys do today? We watched paint dry. You see it's already touchable. It's not a canvas, so it's drying a lot quicker. I mean, I don't know how much time a canvas would take to dry. I'm assuming about the same amount of time. So. I do have it on the lowest setting on my heat gun. If I have it on higher, your paint will, you can scorch your paint and it bubbles up, or you could take the chance of burning your surface underneath, so you want to be really careful if you do decide to use a heat gun. I know all of us do use them, but like I said, a lot of us go live and we're trying to show you the sped up version. Like I just scorched that paint right there. If you scorch it, I just usually pat it down and it goes back flat. I get cracks when I use it. Yeah, you have to be very careful. It means you're drying your paint too fast is what you're doing when you're using a heat gun. It's not meant for that. It's meant to dry naturally. The Dixie Belle paint is self-leveling. When you are doing this, you're forcing the process and you're forcing all of the water to evaporate, which is the whole purpose of drying, but you have to be really careful. I may be able to get away with one coat of paint. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get away with the one coat of paint. I'm gonna lay my paper down because I am gonna be overlaying my canvas. What I like to do, I keep calling it a canvas, my frame. I like to paint around my decoupage paper to make it look like it's not just slapped on there. Like I like to blend it in, and I'm gonna show you how to do that too. So I wanted to make sure I got a lot of things in here today. So we may or may not be able to get all that in today, but I'm gonna try my hardest. Let's just get this dry real quick and we'll go from here and we'll see what happens. We'll just do what we can do today. It's drying rather quick, which is nice. You want it to be dry enough because when you apply your top coat, you may reactivate your paint a little bit. The reason why I chose black is I wanted underneath my surface to be dark. When you are decoupaging, whatever color paint that you are putting underneath your paper is going to make your paper appear either lighter or darker. If you have a very light decoupage paper and you are using like a lighter color or a blue color, it's going to pull that. If you have a light decoupage paper and you're using dark, it's going to make it look darker. The same thing. If you have a dark decoupage paper and you put light under it, it's going to brighten it up. Okay, sorry about that. It was obnoxiously loud. Let me turn this guy back on now so my tushy's not cold. All right, set that up there so I don't melt my arm on fire. I have that roller. Let me make sure I got the wrong roller cover though. Oh no. Oh no, can I tell you how many times I've done that and had to I've done that more than once. Good morning, Pete, good morning. Okay, so now I'm gonna move this over here out of the way. Just for a second. I'm scared I'm gonna knock that over. Let me slide my chair back. And now let's open up this beautiful paper and we're gonna see exactly how big it is. See how there's some lighter stuff underneath there? If I chose to, you could do it lighter. I love this. I think this paper, I love this paper. When they came out with this, I was so excited. I was like, I don't know what I'm using this on, but I knew I had to use it. Actually, I ordered 2 of them because I wanted to make sure, oh, I forgot to grab scissors. I wanted to make sure that I had 2 because I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to do 1 on a canvas. Oh, this is perfect. It's gonna cover the whole thing. Haha. So sometimes you get really lucky and it'll cover your whole thing and sometimes it won't. Luckily enough, today, it almost covers because I'm gonna have a little bit of a lip. So now I gotta decide what I want to stay in here and what I don't want to stay in here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some scissors, guys. I'm so sorry, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can even find them. There might be some in this bag right here. I am hoping so. If not, I'm gonna have to yell inside and have somebody grab me scissors. Oh yeah, I have scissors. Okay, perfect. That worked out lovely. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I've got like things over here. I'm just gonna cut, I'm gonna move this. This is gonna get in my way, I know it. I'm gonna move this on my floor. And hopefully I don't step in it. Okay guys, I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see what I am working on. I'm gonna cut the, I'm not gonna cut the edge, I'm gonna cut the top and the bottom. And I'm cutting all the way. This is where I want that. I think I've told you about this before. I want a paper cutter, like an old school, like the ones that your teachers used to use. I feel like it will help me with decoupage paper, getting my lines better and more even. I feel like I'm the worst with this. And I'm left-handed, and I refuse to get left-handed scissors, so I'm using scissors upside down. It makes it hard for me. When I'm using like paper and stuff like that, it's not terrible, but it starts to hurt my thumb if I cut for a long period of time. This is the rice decoupage paper, so it does have some fibers in it, so when you are cutting it, you will catch yourself getting a little fiber. If it's harder to cut through, that is why. But it makes for the most amazing papers because you can lift them up, you can lay them back down. They're very durable, they're very beautiful. This color is so vibrant. Like it is, this is one of my favorites. Told you it was early. Yeah, no, I have done that before more than once. I will tell you. I got a new Keurig, right? And I'm used to the one that you just fill the tank and you just move. This one's not like that. I got the mini one because I don't drink that much coffee anymore. I'm like 1 cup in the morning. I don't need it to sit in a tank. Well, for some reason I couldn't figure it out and I kept pouring more water in it and it kept dumping out. And so I just let it run out all over my counter instead of putting a cup underneath it, which is what the smart person would have done. So I've been there. And I can't tell you how many mornings I've hit start and it not been anything under there either. So you are not alone, my friend, not alone. All right, so this picture is bigger than the canvas that I will be using. So I'm gonna have to decide what I want and where, because you don't have to just slap it right in the middle. You can decide where you want it. And then I'm going to mimic all these colors and blend down. Or I may just cloud it. I haven't decided. It is just so pretty. This is gonna look awesome in my bedroom. Or I might put it in my bathroom. I don't know yet. I am doing this decorating style. I've told you about this, I'm sure, more than once. It's called dopamine decorating. So it's basically, my whole house looks like this. Bright colors. Nothing really matches, but it's like, it kind of has a theme, but it doesn't have a theme. It's basically anything and everything that you like, you just decorate with. If it makes you happy, you guys remember that show with Marie Kondo, and she's like, spark joy. So she held something in her hand and it made her happy. She kept it. If not, she got rid of it and she said, thank you. Same thing goes. If I like something, I grab it, I put it in my house, it makes me happy. So it kind of basically looks like everything behind me. Or I just have like a collection of things that just make me happy, things that my kids have given to me, things that my friends have given to me. I need to go to CVS today and go pick up some pictures because I've recently started, like, do you remember, like all of our pictures are in our phone now. Who has pictures hanging in their house of like friends? And their kids. Well, I'm sure they're kids, but like friends and stuff, and like time when we go out and do things. Hi from Puerto Rico. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. You're so sweet. So that is what I'm doing. I'm putting all of the things that I want in my house that make me very happy. All right, I'm almost done, guys. I'm trying really hard to get right, because the edge is white and I don't want that white border. I'm cutting like super slow right here, sorry. Almost. Now that the holiday is over, my favorite holiday, I'm sad. Trying to decide what is gonna stay up and what is not. That's fun. All right, so I'll leave those scissors right there. I'm gonna turn this around. All right, let's see, which way? All right, this is the top. That's the important part, making sure that this is where the top of the hanger is. So, all right, if I wanted to put this right smack in the middle, that's what that would look like. Now, what do I love on this? I love the skull. I love the kitty cat. And I really love this panther. Paper. There's a crinkle in it. It's okay. So if I wanted to do like corner from here over, I could do it like that, and then I would get all that in there. But I'm really thinking, because I just don't like everything to be like perfectly center and symmetrical. I kind of like it when things are cut off. All right, so I'm gonna pull to the corner of here, and then I'll have my panther, right? And again, I'm gonna measure with my fingers because that's what I do. Smooth that out. Actually, you know what I am gonna do? I lied. I am going to measure the very bottom. I'm not gonna tack it all the way down, but I like to have extra. Extra is good because if I mess up, I have a little wiggle room. And then you just sand it right off. No big deal, right? No big deal. And then I'll paint my edges black. All right, so now we're gonna turn you back around this way. Pull my sleeves up. And let's cut to that second line. And if you wanted to save some of this, you can. I don't usually throw stuff like this away. I'll save it in case like I get a tear, because you can tear your decoupage paper on accident. It happens all the time. And then you can just make a patch with it. All right, now we're gonna cut over here. You could do the iron-on method. You could use the wet method. There's so many different ways that you can do this. I will be using the wet method today. The wet method. And that's just not using the iron method. That's all that is. Okay. Now, I did forget to grab a sponge. Bear with me. I need to get, well, we probably could do it just with a brush. We're fine. All right. Ugh. I can never open these. Bear with me. Don't do that. You'll crack your top if you're not careful, but I have a grippy thing that's just not over here. I'm gonna move my paper. I'm gonna use my Dixie Belle Mini. And I'm gonna apply my top coat, and then I'm gonna lay my paper down. Moving all of the things around. This is a bigger project, so sometimes this can be a little harder than using the smaller ones. Let me make sure I'm not missing you guys. It looks like my daughter's sleeves, yes, both arms and her body. Her ex owned it. I'm very tattooed as well, but that's super cool. I love that. Yay, thank you, Steph. Please hit like and share. Thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, that's awesome. This is very like poppy tattoo art. I love that. It's kind of my jam. All right, now I am applying a very good amount of this. I'm making sure that this is still the top. Making sure this is still the top. And come all the way to my edge. Now, I can assure you that this is gonna dry out before I get my whole paper laid out, which is fine. I will make sure that I can apply more, but I always try to do it as quick as I possibly can, and sometimes it's hard to do that, especially when you're talking and reading comments. So you just wanna apply a good layer of top coat. This is what's gonna bond your paper to whatever surface you are using. Pull my sleeves up. I do not want to get top coat on my hoodie. I'll be sad. My arms are, I'm so short. You see how like I'm stretching? All right. Just wanting to dry up because I got that heater behind me. So let's just get moving quick. We'll blend in that paper later. Even that out so you don't get a thick bubble of it. Just like that, okay? Move that down there. Grab our paper, and we are very carefully going to lay it down. Now, I do have extra, which is why I wanted to make sure. I've already laid it down once, so we can pick it back up. Want it to be I want that corner. Trying to make sure it's straight. All right, come on, buddy. All right. It was like so nerve-wracking, right? Now, you can take, I will sometimes just take a dry brush. You can take the foam side of your sanding sponge. You can just use a dry paintbrush, which is what I'm using right now, just to kind of help smooth that out. You can use your fingers, you can use a brayer. You can use any and all of the things that you want to use. It does not matter. Whatever works for you. All right, that's dry because I have picked that thing up so many times. It's not wanting to do what I want it to do. So you're just gonna lift it up and then just put more top coat underneath. And then you can take your fingers and rub out your creases if you want to. I'm working in very small areas at a time. It is drying out underneath here. And that's okay, it's all lifted up. Don't worry about that. We're just trying to get it down as best we can. Lay that down, pick that back up again. This is why I love this decoupage paper, because it is very forgiving. I've picked this paper up how many times? And it's still okay. All right. We're working in small areas at a time to get this to lay the way we want it to lay. Does not have to be perfect. It's decoupage paper. There's gonna be some crinkles. I'm gonna turn this now so I can work on the other side. All right. Grab my top coat. And we're gonna work from here. You can see where it's dried out, right? Where the paper has absorbed some of that. We're just gonna add more top coat, which I already told you guys it was gonna dry out. It does that. I'm working on dry, very porous chalk paint that's underneath it, and I'm working with rice decoupage paper, which is both very much a moisture wicking product. Okay. gonna lay that down, make sure I'm not missing you guys. Okay, so this is the Dixie Belle Mini, which is what I'm applying it with, and then I'm using the premium chip brush just to get it to smooth out. Now, like I said, there's a million different ways that you can do this. It does not have to be this way. It's just what I'm choosing to do right now. And then again, I'll work in small areas. To get that to lay. When you notice that it's not laying like I'm wanting it to, it's because it's dry. We're gonna apply top coat to the top of this as well, but right now, I'm just trying to get it to lay flat. You wanna make sure there's not air bubbles underneath it. There are, you can take a razor and just kind of slice them out, but if you can work around it, why not? Sorry, I'm concentrating, guys. Sorry, I'm not watching you at the moment. I will go back and look, I promise. Okay. All right, there we go with that. Now, I'm just gonna go and take my hands and go over it really nicely and see if I feel any places where my paper isn't laying down. Like right here, I can tell that it's not. So I am just very carefully lifting up, and we're gonna just lay that right back down. Okay, and then right there as well. And that's it. Okay, so now I've got to the point where my paper is laying how I want it to, right? And I have very minimal edge, which I will fix later. So how to get this to be perfect is now we're going to apply top coat on top. So I go with my decoupage paper. It's a top coat sandwich, top coat on the bottom, top coat on top. And you're gonna wanna, just the same way as we did before, you're gonna wanna apply an ample amount on here. If this was going on top of a table or a dresser or something that you wanted to decoupage where it's gonna have heavy use, you would probably do a few coats of your clear coat, and then you would wanna go ahead and use a stronger top coat like gator hide. I will not be doing that because this is just wall art for me. So 2 coats of this top coat will be more than enough. Turn it around. And it does go on with a blue hue in it, but it dries perfectly clear, I promise. And then after this is dry, I can take my sanding sponge and I can sand off those edges. And then it'll be perfect, and then I can just go back and paint my edge black all the way around. Try not to lean into it. And I'm very lightly going over it, just doing some finishing strokes just to make sure that there's no like blob of my top coat. I don't want a big chunk. Make sure all my corners are nice and sealed perfectly. You don't want any bubbles underneath it. Again, very lightly, very, very lightly, just smoothing that out. And if you feel any air bubbles, you can just kind of, like there was one right there, you can just kind of move them all the way down with a little bit of force. And then just smooth it out. I think it came out beautiful. What do you guys think? I love it. Let me come on over here. Again, I will allow, I'm not heat gutting this. This will dry naturally because I will ruin your paper. You don't want to do that. This is cross-threaded. That'll be a nightmare to get off. Make sure when you put your jars on, you don't cross-thread them because when they dry, they get like super glued on and it's very hard to get off. All right. And then to clean my brush, I'll just be using my scrubby soap with warm water to make sure all that top coat comes out of there and doesn't mess up my bristles. So this is what she looks like. I'm gonna stand her up. She's super big. Very, 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 very pretty. Way cooler than that artwork that was on there, isn't it? I love it. Love, 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 love. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, I really love the way this turned out. I think this came out really, really beautiful. Again, this is a very quick project, right? So by tonight, this will be dry. I can sand off my edges, right? I could do that now if I wanted to. I don't have a sanding sponge on me, but I could just sand off my edges and then just go ahead and paint the border. Again, I don't like to paint my borders while I'm working. I like that to be the last thing that I'm doing because I want to be able to touch things while I'm moving it around. So if you guys have any questions about anything, go ahead and pop them in the comments section. Again, oh my gosh, I'm dropping stuff. Again, we used Dixie Belle's new roller system, which is amazing. It has this wonderful, wonderful area. I will be using this on the other thing, so I'm just gonna put saran wrap over this because I'll be doing that today. So that way you don't waste anything. You can pour your paint back into your container. It's not a big deal. It doesn't stick like regular paint because it's just chalk paint, so soap and water can rinse this baby out. I used the beautiful vintage tattoo decoupage paper. We used our chip brush to kind of smooth out some stuff, and then we applied the top coat with our Dixie Belle Mini. So if you guys have any questions, pop them in below. If not, look forward to this being posted on my IG stories. That is where I usually post everything afterwards. If you don't follow me already, I would be greatly honored if you did at NTS Design Co. on all social media platforms. Thank you so much, Dixie Belle, for having me. If you have any questions, just go ahead and DM me and I'll be glad to answer anything for you. Thank you so much, each and every one of you that hang out with me this week and every week. And I hope you guys have a great week and enjoy it. Hopefully your kids are not all hopped up on that sugar hangover. So, and while they're at school, you get to sift through and eat all the good candy and be like, oh, I don't know what happened to it. It was torn open. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.